Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. As you may have seen recently, we did go to the Calico Craft Fair up in Moultrie, Georgia. Beautiful Moultrie, Georgia. Picked up a few things while we were at the craft fair. I will say going into this, I'm not going to go over any of the prices with you. A, I don't remember half of them, and B, there's no sense in it. I will say this, though, compared to the craft fairs local to us, the items were a good deal cheaper because we did see multiple items that are repeated from one craft fair to another that other people had seen and thought they could make, and they did. So if there's something here that I picked up comparatively to another craft show, I'll let you know. I don't think there is, maybe one or two items. But other than that, we're going to jump right into some of the items we got. So, as somebody who recently had bariatric surgery, I'm always looking for a new protein, and so I'm a big fan of almond butter and peanut butter. The thing with those is you got to be careful how much sugar's in them, so I do have to watch out for that. But what I found up there while I was there was pecan butter or pecan butter. I don't know where you're from. I don't know how you say it. Pecan, but basically it's the peanut butter version of pecans, and it is peanut-free, non-GMO, and it's gluten-free, vitamin E, antioxidants, all the good things that pecans come with. The sugar content's not too terribly high, and it's quite delicious. They use, oh shucks, I knew before I told you that. Because when you mash them, you do have to add an oil to them to make them creamy. This is creamy with honey. They had crunchy, which I should have gotten now that I think about it. They had cinnamon, a couple other flavors, but yeah, so I'm super excited about this. They let you have a free sample of it, and I really enjoyed it. I really do enjoy pecans. They're delicious. They're just a lot of work unless you buy them pre-shelled. Let's not even pretend. I don't know if you shelled a pecan, but they're a pain in the tuchus. Anyways, protein, because nuts do have a lot of protein in them. Again, I'll eat this on like a really high wheat toast or something so that I'm getting good carbs and protein in, and I can use that as a snack. But yay, something new. Always looking for it. A couple of things that my wife picked up. The lady told her, now these craft fairs, especially in the South, you're going to find at least 8 booths out of 10, or 8 booths out of 20 that are going to sell homemade jams and jellies. I actually have, when we had grapes this last year, harvested them, boiled them down. The juice is sitting in my freezer. I'm going to make homemade muscadine grape jelly, and I've got some homemade apple jelly I'm going to make, and then I can make it sugar-free so that I can enjoy it. So now I was looking at some of these jellies that this lady made, and they're not really high in sugar. I got to give her kudos. For 1 tablespoon, it's about 3 grams of sugar. Most jellies, 1 tablespoon is going to run you 10 to 15 or even 20. This particular, oh my god, I couldn't even say jelly. I was going to say Jell-O like twice in a row. This particular jelly is called Mayor Lemon Jalapeno Pepper Jelly. So basically, it's lemon jelly, but they put in jalapenos and it looks like bell peppers, I think. But the lady that runs this shop, she actually grows the lemons herself. So that's pretty cool, and you can see some of the pepper seeds in there. So you get one of those bad boys. This is bound to be a little spicy. She said it was great on fish. I've got some fish, and I'm going to give it a try. Kristen loves pepper jelly. I used to love pepper jelly before I couldn't have it anymore. But at 3 grams of sugar, it's not too bad. So I could actually have a little bit of this without it worrying that it's going to upset my stomach. So, lemon pepper. It's made by Lori Joe's. Most of these places, like the pecan butter, I got their card so I can order it later. It's not something I order all the time, maybe a once in a while thing. So I did get theirs. I think I have her card as well, or her website. So the other thing we got from her is some homemade salsa. But what's special about Miss Lori Joe's homemade salsa? She got Georgia peach salsa. So being in Georgia, if somebody offers you a Georgia peach, you're going to take it, okay? You're just going to take it. It's good stuff. It's from the South. Anyways, we haven't had a chance to dip into this. I'm sure it's a very sweet salsa, which I'm not normally a fan of. Like, my wife likes mango salsa and things like that. And I'm not a big fan of sweet salsa. I'm not even normally a big fan of sweet, like, barbecue sauce. But this isn't terrible. 2 tablespoons is going to give you 5 grams of sugar. So, not something I'll eat a whole ton of. But it actually has a lot less sugar than most salsas. So, Homemade is usually better because they're not going to dump a lot of sugar in there to cover up all the additives that they're adding in there as well. It's going to have a little bit natural to it. Now, if you're from the South, if you lived in the South, then you know what a green tomato is, okay? And if you've had a green tomato sandwich, fried green tomatoes, bacon, toast, lettuce, it's good stuff. Sorry, I know that's terrible. That's probably my real accent, and I just hide it really well. But anyways, Miss Laura Jo, she makes green tomatoes, but she pickles them. And I love green tomatoes. I used to love fried green tomatoes, but green tomato bacon sandwiches, like, they're the best. And I've actually been finding a way to do fried green tomatoes without frying them in oil. Actually, I don't think I've ever fried green tomatoes. Yes, I have once. But I bake mine. I dip them in egg and then panko breadcrumbs, and I bake them till they're crispy. It's just as good, and it's a whole lot healthier for you because it's not dipped in all that oil. But anyways, this has turned into like a diet video, sorry. I haven't tried these yet, but I definitely am intrigued. So I'll, whenever we try these I'll try them on video and let you know what I think of them. So if you like green tomatoes, Miss Laura Jo makes pickled green tomatoes. I've never eaten a pickled tomato. The only way to pickle tomatoes would be a green tomato because they're a lot firmer. There's no way I think you could pickle a normal tomato without it completely just turned into mush. So I'm excited to try these. The next thing we got, a couple different booths sold dipping spices, mixes, and things. So you would either dip this, you would dip it. You would either mix this into sour cream or cream cheese, depending on if it was savory versus sweet. So my wife picked up a couple. This one's called Loaded Baked Potato. It says combine 2 cups of sour cream together and mix well. Refrigerate for an hour before serving. You can even make a cheese ball if you mix it with softened cream cheese. Form into a ball in plastic wrap. Refrigerator overnight. This has cheddar cheese, red bell peppers, onions, soy protein, natural flavors. I always don't like that word. Chives, non-fat milk, cheese cultures, salt, and spices. They're all going to be similar to that. This is called the Asiago Grilled Prime Rib. So this one's for sour cream, or you could substitute light sour cream and low-fat mayonnaise, or just 2 cups of sour cream, Greek yogurt, or hummus are healthy alternatives. I got some chickpeas. We might make some Asiago Grilled Prime Rib hummus. But like I said, Kristen picked these up. So this one's got beef stock powder, smoke flavor, garlic, onion, Asiago cheese. You know, there aren't any words on here that you can't pronounce. You can pronounce everything, and that's what I really like about a lot of these craft fairs is you can get homemade stuff with natural things. So that's good. It looks like my lovely wife really, really, really enjoyed the Asiago Grilled Prime Rib because they do let you sample it because there are 3 of those. I didn't sample them. I was off talking to somebody else, and I'll show you what I was talking to him about. And the other one she got was a bloomin' onion mix. Again, horseradish powder, tomato, onion, garlic, parsley, and spices. And that's usually just salt, pepper, things like that. And this goes in sour cream, or you can do a low-fat version with sour cream or Greek yogurt or hummus. We got some good stuff. I'll try and remember to record when we try these out. I haven't tried any of these. My wife and the children did. One I did try from another booth was like sea salt caramel. And I only had a little bit of that, and it was delicious, and you could tell it was full of nothing but sugar. So we did not buy that one. So these are just little spice mixes, and they mix into stuff. And this is by Chadwick's. It's called Chadwick's Naturals. So they've got their address, their email address on the back, their address for their business. So that's super cool. And they even have, there's all their information. If you want to go check them out, maybe buy some. You know, after you see me try them and let you know what they taste like. So we'll see. We will see. All right, so camera change. My battery just died in my big camera. So if you'll notice, the lighting's a little bit different now. I've got windows open, so you're probably going to hear the breeze in the background because Florida for the last 2 days has been in its let's get into spring kick. So we're getting really cool breezes. So I've got windows open. So if you hear that, I apologize from this point on. foot back into it. So last thing I showed was the spices. So with my bariatric surgery, one of the things I have to do is make sure I get so much liquid in a day. So at least water, green tea, because I can't have anything caffeinated according to my doctor. We were at this craft fair. I found somebody, they made their own tea. They had herbal tea, they had green tea, and they had red tea. So I picked up the green tea and an herbal tea, and then they also grew their own spices and had their own spice blends. Really cool, really nice couple. They actually told me if I ever needed anything, I could come out to the farm and pick stuff up or see the farm. I mentioned I had a channel, and they told me I could even come out and view the farm for the channel. So they did say April or May is the best time. So maybe in April or May we'll go visit this nice couple who I got this from. Let me see if I can find their card real quick. They're called Dixie Dreams Farms. It's Ned Jones and Dr. Marion Jones. They're out of Dixie, Georgia. So I've got their information, their website. They said I can order stuff from them as well. So the first thing I'll go over is the different spices. So let me pull those out real quick. And as most of you know, I like to cook. I'm sure you've seen plenty of my cooking videos. So anytime I can find new spices, I'm always willing to pick those up. So with that being said, I picked up a harvested, zoom it in. There you go. It's hand harvested mint, so it's just dried mint. It's good for tea, or there's a few dishes that I use it in that kind of like brings them to life. So I got that. And then I picked up a hand harvested sweet Thai basil, so same packaging design as the last one. I like basil, it's cool, and I'm interested in the sweet Thai portion. So let me see, I'm gonna open this one because I haven't opened these, I haven't smelled these. I did taste some of their different spice blends and enjoyed them, and that's why I picked the ones up I did. So, but you guys know herbs always have a good smell to them, so. Okay. So it definitely has a sweet aroma, almost a lavender to it, and then you can definitely, if you associate Thai food, it's usually got pepper, so I would definitely say it's got like a sweet and spicy smell to it, so that's going to be interesting to use. I don't know what I'm going to use that in, but I can't wait to try that out. Then I got, let's see. This one is called Hand Harvested House Seasoning. There's two here. One of these, so this is Hand Harvested House Seasoning. It's just a special house blend that they use. It's got paprika, sea salt, garlic, red pepper, pepper, coriander, fennel, oregano, and thyme. They had one that was a no salt version, so if you're for people who are on like kidney dialysis and stuff like that and they can't have salt, they do make a blend that is salt free of this, and it tastes just as good as this, but it's got more of an aromatic taste versus having that extra salty flavor. I picked up 2 of those, so we'll try those out on some steaks. And then the last one I got is Hand Harvested Seafood Seasoning. Same little pouch. This has lemon, basil, paprika, sea salt, oregano, jalapeno powder, garlic, parsley, pepper, thyme, and dill. So I did try both of these, the house seasoning and the seafood seasoning. I think this would be good on fish. They had a blackening season, and then they had a bunch of other just fresh herbs. Not fresh, but they had dried them. They had dill, and the mint I got, they had thyme, parsley. They had a whole selection, and it was buy 4 get 1 free, so that's why I picked up those. And then the teas, so this first is called Berry Boost Tea. It has elderberry, hibiscus, ginger, cloves, cinnamon, and rose hips. So this is a completely herbal tea. There's no actual tea in it. You're getting it from the berry plant. So there's no caffeine in this one. and that's just kind of what it looks like. So of course this has to be steeped, so I have a steeper, so that's awesome. I also have a press pot that I can use. And then the other one I got was sleep tea, and it's just chamomile, lavender, and mint. So this is the only green tea that they made, so that's that one right there. I can't wait to try these. I'll try and remember to bring you guys along when I try them and let you know what they taste like. I'm always excited because I love tea. And so I'm always excited when I find new teas to try, especially now where my selection of drinks is limited. So I did meet a guy who made homemade barbecue sauce, and the reason that's always special to me is I've always wanted to make my own barbecue sauce. I just don't have the time to put into it, and honestly it's probably not that difficult. I can make small batches, but making big batches like this guy makes. But this is a sugar-free, 100% sugar-free, and for somebody like me who can't have a lot of sugar, or if you're diabetic, or for whatever reason you just don't like a lot of sugar, this is a completely mustard-based barbecue sauce. It's very runny, it's got a lot of vinegar flavor to it, it's spicy, and just when you taste it, it makes your mouth pucker, and I love mustard-based barbecue sauces. So the second he told me that it was sugar-free, I was like, you have my interest. So it's called Swine Hearts. It's Chattahoochee Gold barbecue sauce. So this is the hot. So this is the 32 ounce. And then again, like I said, I bought a gallon of it. So this is awesome. There's 5 calories per serving. It does have a lot of sodium, so you have to be careful with that. But there's no sugar. There's 1 carb, but it's water, white vinegar, mustard seeds, salt, cayenne pepper, turmeric, different spices, and paprika. So I'm excited for this. I just injected a pork shoulder, or a piece of a pork picnic, and that's going slow and low in the oven because it's too windy to smoke. But it's awesome. Again, this is a little runny, but that's the way I like my sauce. So once this comes out, I'll pull it, douse it with a little bit of this, mix it up, and so he also had me, or let me try, aside from the sauces, he took onions and cucumbers and put them in a jar of this stuff for 9 days. He's like, 9 days is all it takes. That was good. It was spicy and vinegary, so I'm gonna read you this. It ain't good, it's real good. Don't be fooled by the name barbecue sauce. Also, this sauce is great for marinades, for poultry, works wonders for collards, coleslaw, chili, baked beans, and as an injection for pork. Don't miss the opportunity to try it on all types of seafood, from oysters. Ooh, that sounds great. This would be great on oysters. Sorry, sidetracked. On the half shell or fried shrimp, fish, and just anything else you can think to put it on. And he was super kind, and he told me their address is labeled on the bottle because they have to, because of where they package it. So they've had people call and then show up to their house to get more sauce. But he told me if I was anywhere near the Columbus area to give them a call, and I could always pick up more because their website's currently down. So I got that, and then I got 2 little just sauce bottles. I got 2 of these because, again, I bought a gallon and 32 ounces, and this makes it easier for dousing, not dousing the meat, but putting the sauce on the meat. So that's awesome. That's probably my favorite thing out of everything we've got here, because I do a lot of barbecue. I like to smoke a lot of meat, and that's just, you know, it's awesome. There was somebody else selling homemade dog treats, so we picked up a few dog treats for Tia. I don't know where they put up, my wife put them up, but like we got her a couple like organic pig ears and different cookies, like peanut butter cookies, chicken flavored cookies that these people made, and they looked pretty cool. So they're handmade, so they're actually safe for human consumption. I haven't tried one. I don't think I'm gonna try one. Who knows? Maybe I'll do it for the camera. Anyway, so the kids spent some of their allowance and bought some items from a woodwork vendor there who had different wooden toys. That was a little bit of what I could show in the video. The guy who made like the homemade trucks and tractors, and I think there was like a train there too. But he also made sword and shields. So this is Jordan's And of course it comes with this little wooden shield, or wooden sword. So, and it's got a handle on it, and then your sword just kind of will hang right there if you're walking around. So they've had a lot of fun playing with these. And they've been really good about not like walloping the crap out of each other, you know. So they've been awesome. But while we were there, so that I could play with them and have fun with them, and we've had battles in the front yard for the last couple days, I picked up a couple things. I didn't get a sword and a shield. I picked up a couple cheaper options because I'd already, you know, bought some other stuff. They called it a mini sword. Here in the South, we call it a Bowie knife. And you can see it's already taken quite a few wallops. So I've always been into sword play, so teaching the kids how to sword fight and fence has been kind of fun for me. This little guy hasn't seen much use, but it's just a little hatchet, or a battle axe is what they called it, or a throwing axe. I picked up this little dagger. I also just think these are cool. Like, this was $1, so like even if I was just to hang this on my wall, like, that's cool. I like it. I mean, these are the ones I would hang on my wall, but because these look more like Legolas's swords. So, you know, just cross them and hang them up like that. They're pretty, again, these were just $1, so. And then I picked up these. These were called something swords. They say Squire on them. They kind of look like Raphael size a little bit, but they're also little swords. So that's all I picked up. Again, I think for all of this I paid less. For all of this I paid less than like $10, maybe $12. Plus, you know, they're gonna last a while. Again, we've played quite a few times, sword fighting and stuff, and they've lasted pretty long. I did get wounded though. I don't know if I can. I'll show it to you. I'm going to explain it first. So we were playing around, and what we're doing is it's first, whoever gets first touch on the other person wins. And so it's the 3 of us. So of course everybody's trying to be shady and get somebody before the other person gets them. So Jordan and I were going at it, and I was just using the little daggers, you know, while they had their sword and shield, because my reach is longer and I want it to be fair for them. So we were going at it, and I was like, oh, okay. So I went like this to kind of like poke him from both sides, and he did such an excellent block. Like, the sword came up. The sword came up like this, but then he brought his shield down like this, and he caught me in the arm, and I like twisted to get at him and like poke him, and it scraped me. So it's super funny. It's not that big a deal. I'm going to show it to you though. See it right there? That's my battle wound from the war. But we had a blast. We played while we were in Moultrie. We were outside playing yesterday while I was throwing stuff on the grill. So we've had a blast with them. Good old country fun. Basically, I don't know if you can see this. So we have to glue this on place after we paint it, but basically there's just the initial S. Because that's just the beginning of our last name, and it looks like Minnie Mouse, so we got a Minnie Mouse, and then basically it's the same thing as what I just showed you, but it's Mickey, just without the bow. So we'll paint these, glue the bow on, and then hang them on the wall somewhere. The lady did mention that some people get these and they take them to Disney World and have the characters sign them. I would literally have to go and only do that day, because there is no way I'm walking around with this all day through the park and ride rides and stuff like that. So maybe if my wife wants to paint these white and just do a day where we go and we get them signed by the characters, we'll do that, just me and her. Cool. Once they're painted and we get them hung, I'll show them to you. So they were super cute. They weren't terribly expensive. And they're made out of like a decent little wood, so they'll be a little sturdy. So again, just got to paint them and then decide if she wants to get them signed, and trying to make sure that's everything. There's so much stuff around me. If you saw my desk, you'd wonder how I function most days. Anyways, yeah, that's definitely it. So I'm gonna get out of here, put all this stuff away and wherever it belongs, and yeah, go hang out with the kids. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. This was our little haul from the Calico Craft Fair. We had a blast. We got to hang out with family, see some cool stuff, try some great things. Allie got to basically have roasted corn on the cob, which was, they just threw a whole ear of corn in the, like this big, like flame fire, almost like you'd see like Burger King uses for their burgers. It would just roll it through the fire and then drop it down. So basically they peeled it, left the bottom on it, stuck it in some butter, and had a table full of seasonings for you to try on it. She's a purist though. She ate that corn with just a little bit of butter. The muscadine grape slushies were absolutely amazing. It was just a brilliant idea. I never even thought of that. And we grow them. We have 2 small little vineyard areas. We make jelly out of ours usually. So we didn't really eat on site. We went and ate off site afterwards, because none of us really wanted anything deep fried, which is mostly what you're going to get in an area like that. But it all smelled great. They had a couple of barbecue booths, kettle corn booths. This happens a couple times a year. Their biggest one's during Christmas. So we'll probably be headed back up eventually to go to another one, because we did enjoy this one so much. But for now, guys, I love you. Till tomorrow.